Are you a high-performing parent, entrepreneur, or high achiever in pursuit of excellence? Welcome to the Nexus Podcast, a podcast custom tailored for families like ours, driven, affluent, and eager to lead extraordinary lives. From rockstar stay-at-home moms to high-producing CEOs, we choose to model success for everyone we are surrounded by. We prioritize health over sickness, embrace a vitalistic lifestyle, and seek to tap into the limitless potential that God has bestowed upon us. I'm Dr. Daniel Kimbley, your host, and on this podcast, we'll uncover the secrets to living a fulfilling and abundant life, where you and your loved ones can thrive physically, mentally, and spiritually. Together, we'll forge a path to greatness and unleash your God-given capabilities. Get ready to say yes to a life of true prosperity and well-being. This is the Nexus Podcast. Hey, what's up, Nexus fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Nexus Podcast. And what I want to talk about this week actually happened to me last night. I had a friend reach out to me via social media. She was looking for a chiropractor for one of her friends, and when I immediately sent her information, there's a chiropractor, Dr. Mike, who was my kind of mentor. He's the person who got me into chiropractic. He's the person who taught me so much about the brain and how the body works and how the body can naturally heal itself that I was more than inspired to quit my job teaching English to go to chiropractic school, and it couldn't have been possible if it weren't for Dr. Mike and what he instilled into me, the way that he changed my mindset, the way that he changed my body, the way that he awakened my brain through the chiropractic care that he was providing. And there's like this amazing thing that happens when we start getting adjusted, and I'm not even going to get into that on this episode. I just can't help but spill it out of me because I'm so passionate about it. Now here's what went down. I had a friend, she reaches out to me on Instagram and she says, hey, I need a chiropractor in Indianapolis. Who's the best that you have? And obviously my recommendation is Dr. Mike, which is why I shared that backstory with you. And immediately after that, she responds, thank you, super appreciate it, hope your family's doing well. And then the next thing that she said to me in this message is like in a new little message reply was, thank goodness that I never needed a chiropractor. And I just simply responded back. I said, there are people like Tom Brady who never needed a chiropractor. They go for peak performance, they go for optimal health, they go for a prevention. And I share this with you because I'm passionate about this thing that I probably don't talk about enough in my office, but I think that I should. It's called what I call the production pyramid. And so the production pyramid is a series of steps or a hierarchy of things that I believe that any human being who wants to function at their best, whether it's a child, whether it's an athlete, whether it's a mom who just has 3 kids and trying to get through the stress of the day, whether it's a high-level entrepreneur, a professional surfer, it doesn't matter who the person is. There's a level of things that must happen in order for you to express life at 100%. And so when I get this message, I immediately start thinking of our production pyramid and how much it frustrates me, and I hear it all the time. Like, so many people will tell me, they're like, oh, thank goodness, never needed a chiropractor, so glad I don't have any back problems. And the reality is like, yes, we can help with back problems, but it's way more than that. It's actually about addressing someone's brain function, and it's about the nervous system. And you got to remember that our nervous system is our connection to life. The way our brain interprets information is what allows us to express life in a certain way. The way our brain interprets information is as the way that we interpret the world. And so if our brain is functioning less than, we're going to interpret the world less than. And this is why people ask me all the time, they're like, dude, how are you so happy? So how are you so optimistic? How are you like crushing it in the best shape of your life, and you're the oldest you've ever been, and like, how do you have so much passion, and where's it all come from? It's not because I'm special. It's not because I'm magical. It's not because my daughter's magical or my wife, or the people that we take care of inside my office. Like, there's so many people that I'm surrounded with who understand this principle of having a healthy brain and having a healthy nervous system is what allows us that deepest level of connection to Source, to God, to Holy Spirit, to healing at the deepest levels possible. And this is why we take care of the people that we take care of. This is why we provide the care that we provide inside of my office. This is why I get so passionate about it, because it's not just getting people out of pain. Yes, we can help with that, but it's way, way more. It's connecting people to a quality of life. It's connecting people to a life that literally is not possible if your brain is functioning less than. So I share this story of this message with you because yes, it frustrates me, but I also understand how people can be wrapped up in this paradigm and in this mindset of like, thank goodness I never needed a chiropractor because it's only about pain. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not about pain, it's actually about your brain. And your brain is your connection to life. If you have a higher connection or a higher functioning brain, your connection to life is going to be higher. You're going to be happier, you're going to be more optimistic, you're going to have better connections, you're going to have better relationships, you're going to absorb the nutrients from the food you're eating better, you're going to recover from your workouts better, you're going to be able to make better decisions. Like, all of these things are possible only through having a healthy nervous system. So the reason that I really share this with you is because at the same time as I'm having this conversation in Facebook Messenger with one of my friends who I love dearly, like so grateful for them, I have another friend reach out to me, and this is someone who isn't even necessarily a friend at this point. This is someone who is much more of an acquaintance, but a very, very high level, high net worth individual who travels all over the world, speaks on mindfulness, speaks on meditation, and I get this text message, and it's like, hey, I got your phone number from so-and-so, and I really, really need your help because I'm having these symptoms all over my body. Basically, I'm experiencing things in my feet, I'm experiencing things in my hands, and it kind of is moving around, and I'm experiencing it in my butt cheeks, and then it's going to my face, and there's all this stress and all this anxiety and all of this, dude, I can't understand, I eat so healthy, I meditate every day, multiple times a day, I'm so mindful, I try to be present, I'm doing all the right stuff, I take my supplements, I exercise, and the reality is that this person was missing that base or foundational piece of the pyramid. And so the pyramid looks like this. If we start at the tip is going to be the least important, and that is the hacks. So things like supplements, things like doing cold plunges, or things like doing sauna, all those things are great. I love them, but realistically, they're just hacks, right? They're trying to hack our nervous system without actually addressing the source, because the reality is we can stress our bodies out by putting it in cold water. We can stress our bodies out by putting it in heat, but those are stresses on the system. And all the research says this. So if we don't have an ability to adapt to and deal with that stress to actually make us more resilient, we're going to do a hack and it's going to feel good in the moment, but then our body goes right back into its old pattern. The same thing is true with exercise. The next one down is actually exercise. So most people would think exercise is the end all be all. If I exercise, I'm healthy. This person I just told you the story about, exercises all the time. Not true. Exercise alone does not make you healthy. The function of your nervous system and how you recover from your exercise is actually what makes you healthy, but you have to have a healthy brain in order to do that. So the next level down, more important than exercise, is nutrition. But again, the trick is I see so many people who are like, dude, I take my supplements, I exercise, I'm eating clean, and yet I still have all these issues. Same thing with this person I just shared with you who messaged me and said, hey, I got your number, I have all these things going on, I'm literally headed to the emergency room, can you please help me? And so the reality is that when we're eating clean, if we're eating clean but our digestive system is turned off because our body's stuck in a stressed out state, we're not going to heal the way that we could in the first place. And so after eating clean is actually relationships. And so relationships are super important. We know there's a Harvard study, I've talked about this a million times on the podcast, but there's a Harvard study that literally says that the number one indicator of highest quality of life, people who are the happiest, is the deep connection of relationships that people have. But here's the trick to this, is that the part of your brain that is turned off by stress hormones is the same part of your brain that's responsible for connection and emotional intelligence with other human beings. So again, I'm building this case that you can take supplements, you can exercise, you can meditate, you can eat clean, you can have amazing relationships and still not be healthy, even though you think that you are, because the only way to know that if you're truly healthy is to have a healthy functioning brain and nervous system. And there are only a few places in the world that can check to see whether you actually have a highly healthy functioning brain and nervous system. And so the next level down from relationships is actually meditation and sleep. So we know that sleep is where all your learning happens. You learn things during the day, but then those are reinforced and solidified through our sleep. We know that meditation gives us a place of actually releasing stress. So the person I just shared with you who calls me up yesterday and they're like, dude, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm in LA. Can I come down and see you? And I kind of walked them through our thought process because they had always thought of a chiropractor as back pain, but they didn't have back pain. They had all these other symptoms. They go to the ER. The ER is like, nope, you're clear. Let's do an MRI just to check, but we can't find anything wrong with you because there's nothing wrong that a traditional allopathic model would look for. There's nothing that they know to even check for, to check his nervous system to see if it's stuck in a fight or flight or stressed out state. Because what we know is that in a fight or flight or stressed out state, our body is going to literally not be able to be into a meditative state or a theta state. Our body is not going to be able to have emotional connection because what I say, the front part of the brain turned off by stress hormones is the part of the brain that's responsible for our emotional intelligence in the first place. The body stuck in a stressed out state is literally not going to allow us to absorb the nutrients from the food food we're eating as efficiently. Because remember, fight or flight is stress, rest and digest is healing, keyword digest. The fight or flight system turns off the digestive system. And so there's this piece of, I see people all the time who come in and they're like, dude, I can't believe how much better I'm functioning. And I've been doing all this other stuff, but I never added chiropractic. It's because when we add chiropractic, when we address the brain, we start to literally awaken the whole system so everything starts functioning better. And this is how people actually truly express health. Same thing with exercise, same thing with the hacks or the supplements or whatever it may be. So the reason I share this story with you is because this person who calls me and the person who sent me the message and said, hey, thank goodness I never needed to see a chiropractor, both of them had this thought process, or both of them had this idea that I'm healthy, I don't need to do anything else. And I had this same belief, and yes, chiropractic is my business, so I'd love to talk about it. But the reality is, I had the same belief too. I thought chiropractors were quacks. I thought it was for neck pain, back pain, and headaches, until I started getting adjusted and I noticed there was a new passion in my life. I noticed that I felt the safety and security to actually take a risk and quit my job. I noticed that while I look around me and I see all these people who are playing volleyball together, who are taking pain pills, trading pain pills, wrapping their knees, wrapping their ankles, limping around the court, wearing back braces, it just wasn't me. It wasn't me. And the reason it wasn't me is because I decided to take a different approach and actually take care of my nervous system to allow my body to heal better, to allow my body to recover from the workouts and volleyball better, to allow my body to absorb those healthy nutrients better, to allow my body to rest and recover better, to sleep better, to have better, closer connection with the people around me. And it was a result of the base of the pyramid, which is addressing the brain, which is brain-based, neurologically based chiropractic care. So when I share this with you, the interesting part is that the friend who called me yesterday, literally this is the message I get from them, is they're like, dude, I have the best mindfulness meditation practice ever, all time. I don't think anybody can touch it. And the reality is this person didn't understand. They're like, I'm so little stressed, but they didn't understand that stress can come from multiple places. Stress isn't just oh my gosh, I feel stressed out because I have to pay my bills. This person has no concerns about their bills. I can assure you of that. What they do have is concern about being and doing all these presentations back to back to back to back, to being under fluorescent lights, to being in the presence of EMS, to looking on blue light on the screens, to different food and different beds and all travel. All of these things are stresses on the body. And when those stresses stack up, it can start to create symptoms within the neurological or the brain or the nervous system. And the reason it happens is because every time we have a stress, it does not matter where it comes from. Working out is a stress in and of itself. The body is designed to fight or run away. If the body does not fight or run away, then it stays stuck in a stressed out state. It's called a subcortical stressed out state, and it will negatively affect your ability to absorb nutrients. It will negatively affect your ability to recover. It will negatively affect your ability to meditate and be mindful. It will negatively affect your relationships. And this is what we work with people on. I'm sharing this with you because this is the production pyramid. And what I know is that people can do all the things. You can do the hacks. You can do the nutrition. You can do the exercise. You can do the meditation. You can do the rest. You can do the connection to other people and try to have healthy relationships. But there is a new level that is possible when you decide to address your brain and nervous system. So my friends, I ask you the question of what would life look like for you if you decided to go to the next level? What would life look like for you if you could take it to the next level? Because what I know is the people I'm surrounded with, the ultimate reality is that they all want more inside of their lives. They want more presence, they want more productivity, they want more profit, they want better relationships, they want better sex, they want better connection with their kids. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens as a result of the care that we provide. And yes, we can get people out of pain, but there's a whole other level to it as well. So my friends, what in your life would look different if you could take it to the next level? And then what would you do to get there? What's the first tactical step that you would need to take to get there? And my friends, I hope you answer those two questions because I think they're crucial. I don't have the answers for you. All I know is that if you're addressing your brain, you're going to get more out of your life than you could ever expect. We have the testimonials to prove it. We have the progress evaluation questionnaires to prove it. And what we love in our office is just letting people get to the next level, which is what we're all about. So my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. Hope you got some value out of it. We'll come at you next week. Peace.